Okay, welcome everyone to the February 20th iteration of the MicroProfile Live Hangout. A link to the meeting minutes is in the chat, so please click on the link and add your name to the list of microprofilers slash meeting attendees. Organization is optional. It is everyone's shared responsibility to take notes, and this is being recorded, and we are uh, posting these videos now. Ryan is posting these videos to YouTube again, right? So the video will eventually go up on the YouTube channel, right? And there will also be a link here along with our smiling faces here. Okay. So today I mostly want to focus on the MicroProfile 7 release. We really need to get the release plan done. And generally, I'd like to talk about tracking the program plan via the GitHub issues, right? So each section you can kind of see I've added a link to the goals, right? And we can discuss the details maybe of how we want to do that when we get down to that section. So I kind of want to talk about that. A reminder that we have the MicroProfile tutorial being written by Tarun, and he joined the marketing call yesterday. Just please take a look at the tutorial. I've got a few questions. I've been opening up GitHub issues and chatting with him there. It's been working fine.
Yeah, the other thing is John is Tyrone will come to the technical call next week to do a quick demo. So please, if you are interested, so please do attend that call.
Let me say, it's not that if you are interested, it is to the benefit of anyone that is technical, especially to pay attention to the tutorial. You don't have to attend the calls. There is a Git, there is a documentation. You can add a ticket, provide feedback directly in the tickets, so that Tarun can improve what he is working on. That's it.
Yeah, I didn't want to get too. I probably went deeper into this than I wanted to because I kind of want to hold off maybe for the marketing section. So apologies for that. But yeah, it's just a reminder. Maybe we can talk about it more in the marketing section. I almost hit the go button on the wiki migration, but I was kind of in a rush before this call started, so I decided I'm gonna not do that in fear of messing it up. So this week. I am going to push the wiki pages migration, and we'll just kind of take it from there. From a security standpoint, as far as I can tell, there's two options. Either anybody can edit, it's completely wide open, or just committers can edit. And it makes sense, I think, to have committers edit. That may mean that, and we've talked about this in the past, do we have any non-technical committers on the project besides yourself, Amelia? I think you're a committer.
Yes, I am a committer. Ryan is a committer. He's not technical as well.
Okay.
So we have two technical. We have three actually, because Cesar who used to work with you, he's active still. So that would be a total of three. And Emerson is technical, but he has not provided code to MicroProfile yet. So you can say he's not a committer that is technical. He's also on the business side. That would be four.
So
on that, go ahead, Reza.
Yeah. So the people that are corporate members, do they automatically become committers, or how does it work?
No.
So yes and no. So depends. So for your circumstances, rather, Microsoft is strategic, or probably Paul is better to answer it. Paul, go ahead, Paul.
I thought the primary and alternate were automatic committers, but go ahead, Paul.
No, only one vote. Okay. Only one committer. Yeah.
Right. You're entitled to one committer. I think this question on the specification project with your membership.
I see. So yeah, that's what I thought, John. So Yeah, so honestly, we should treat me as non-technical. So if you need to add somebody, please do add Ed Burns. I know he's really not been around, but if there was and hopefully there will be a technical contribution from our side, it would probably likely be him. So please add him if he's not added already.
Yeah, that's not something I think. I'm trying to remember how this works. So there's no vote that needs to be had. So I think it's Paul, right? It's up to someone.
EMO.
Yeah.
Send an email to the EMO.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that. Or I'll ask
Yep.
to do that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
so rather you can Slack me, I can give you the EMO email address if you need. So you just,
Okay.
you just drop a EMO email, they will add you very fast.
It's just EMO at Eclipse Foundation, right? Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I'll ask. Surely I'll do that, and I'll remind Ed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
And not to make this long, but always we have made it so that the members, the new members, can choose to use their one seat in assign someone technical or not to as a committer of the project. It is not necessary. They can earn it by merit by doing as well. And it has always been in the way of, it depends of what the member needs. If it's helping on releases and it needs that access, it is faster for a committer to help on a release. We noticed that when onboarding a trainee like Emerson and others like Edwin. But other than that, there is no rush because a member gets a vote on the ballots, business. So FYI, that is written in the wiki. And it's a good question.
Yeah, but there's one difference. When you got elected, yeah, you have a lifetime membership. When it's driven by the corporate membership, then it's during that membership. So if that ends, you can lose that.
Yeah,
So
you get removed.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how, Paul is here, but I'm not sure how easy, how effective and proactive the Eclipse Foundation is in removing members. So you're right, Jan, that they should be removed, but you know, we don't pay attention and it should be a ticket and it's just like one of those things. It's not like we're proactive as kicking members off after, if they have been contributing nicely and continue to contribute, it's just, you know, not a big deal.
Yeah, but for example, as Kevin Sutter retired, I think we had a vote to keep him as a committer for that reason.
But he earned, a
Yes.
lot of have earned the merit. So we will be like, even if he's not active, he has earned it so well. For example, if John retires in 2
Well,
years.
sorry. I mean, just
Yeah, go ahead.
everybody. I'd
Different
like to kind
topic
of
here.
move on from this. If
Yeah, go ahead, John.
if we got an
Sorry.
answer. Okay. There is a question. I did bring up Paul. You know, we have 1 or 2 links to the Eclipse wiki. I was just, what is the Eclipse Foundation's plan? Again, it wasn't a hurry. I don't know if you've got an answer to that.
Yeah, no, I did put the question on Slack, and let me see if anyone in IT answered. So I've got that
Okay.
one. But let me see if there was an answer.
And like I said, there is, I mean, from our side, I don't think there's any kind of hurry around this. All right, well, Paul's looking looking that up. Feel free to just add a comment, Paul, in the meeting minutes.
Yes, thank you, John.
Yep. Okay, releases. Emily, take it away. Release plan stuff.
Yeah, so basically it's John, if you click on the, can you click on the spreadsheet? So now it's basically we are entering, basically being late, entering the final week of the plan review. Today I just create a telemetry plan review, but we'll need to discuss internally with the telemetry. Next week can start the basically a ballot. So if you go to the dates again, to the tab dates. So it's basically yeah. So we really need to start the plan. However, we do have a couple weeks leeway time. So we should basically aim to get a plan review out by next week. So today I told OpenAPI folks team, so they will start a plan review. I already started created a PR for the telemetry plan review, and hopefully you can send off a plan review next week. Start the ballot. I understand there's a kind of remaining work to be done. Like we know, like we are going to do like the telemetry, Open API. So these both will be a major release. So it's because there will be a breaking changes. And then there's the kind of unfinished discussion regarding semantic versioning, whether it's drop Java version and also align with Jakarta EE dependency, and etc. with a major and minor. So this will drive some spec away from the release. If you go back to the minutes again.
Oh, minutes.
Yeah. So it's we discussed for a while regarding basically the semantic versioning scheme, and also further to last week's basic technical call. I also quote the semantic versioning white paper. So basically, in summary, so it's in MicroProfile we have a semantic versioning plugin to determine whether there's the package version and also the jar version. So basically, in the semantic versioning, kind of the white paper, the jar version will be aggregate or the package version. So which means if the package has major release, any of the package has a major version bump, the jar version will need to have a major version bump. If all of the packages just have a minor release, and the jar version will just have a minor bump. So this is kind of the summary for this. I understand with this, so from my understanding, based on semantic versioning scheme, so if the spec, we move up from Java 8 to Java 11, so basically compile from Java 8 to Java 11, if you do not change any of the Java classes, code, deleting any method, etc. So basically, this is pretty much a minor change. So basically, you can do a minor release. So similar thing for the basically Jakarta EE10 alignment. So it's basically some spec can rely on some packages of Jakarta EE10. If your package basically was not affected by the Jakarta EE10, the particular package you use, again, that will not be a major release. That's a kind of semantic versioning plugin already in place. So we'll tell you straight away what kind of version release you are having. So basically, in summary, is we have the automated a plugin already in place. If you can go through the build, so the pretty much if you need to do a major release, your build will fail. So basically, we say you have to increase the major version. So I think pretty much for example, MicroProfile health. So that's I think will be a minor release. So this is kind of the this is based on my knowledge and also based on the semantic versioning scheme.
Yeah, but is that what you are suggesting? Because the plugin ignores the Java SE minimum version and ignores maybe potential breaking changes coming through the dependencies, because the plugin is based on that white paper which focus on OSGI, and OSGI is ignoring the Java SE version at all, and also is linking dependencies in a very flexible way, which is not possible within Maven, and our artifacts use Maven. So the plugin is very useful, but maybe to fulfill semantic versioning rules, we sometimes need to do a major release or a minor release, even when they're on the package level. no changes in respect for the service release, or only additions, because if the breaking change is from that part that is not covered by the plugin automatically, then we need to manually oversteer that.
So the plugin strictly comply with semantic versioning scheme, but you are suggesting basically you do not want to comply with the semantic versioning.
No, that's not true. I'm fully focused on being compliant with semantic versioning, but the plugin, if it follows the OSGI implementation and that white paper, is ignoring minor Java SE requirements. They are just ignored as implementation detail, which is not, because we have breaking changes on the bytecode if we change that. And also dependencies, the external dependencies like to Jakarta specs or other MicroProfile specs are ignored too, because OSGI is capable of do the linking between artifacts in a very flexible way. Only the API need to be fit. But if there are other implications like different default behavior or something like that, is not reflected by that plugin. So the plugin gives a good suggestion, but to be compliant with semantic versioning, we need to do more. And when that is not automatically evaluated, then we need to manually set that version scheme according to semantic versioning.
I think we are repeating the same thing over and over again. So yeah, if you disagree with this, you think the semantic versioning policy differently, can you quote where the semantic versioning you have seen, like for the Java version, etc., and then post to that mailing list? From what I don't think probably we can make a decision here, and is it possible for you to post something concrete on the mailing list? So I'm really conscious with the basically endless kind of discussion and just repeating the same thing. I think it's we have to do a ballot. So I propose, so like we could start a ballot maybe Thursday. So basically give you time tomorrow to basically post something and then kind of start a ballot on Thursday, so that basically can finish within 7 days. So basically, I also propose we do a committer ballot, because this is kind of impact the specs. It's not basically some spec may not want to do a release based on the kind of the like a result and etc. Is that okay?
Yeah, that is very on short notice, because other people might join that discussion too. Is that discussion restarted? Because I don't receive any mails on the mailing list. Not at all.
I started over the weekend on both the MicroProfile working group and Google Mail. I think I posted both. Or maybe it's yeah, I think Martin saw it. Martin, you saw the Google group, right?
I didn't receive anything on the MicroProfile -WG mailing list. So yeah, we had started the discussion there end of last year, and we had that talk with BJ end of the year after the steering committee meeting. And yeah, I will post something summarizing what we discovered there and what I think we need to do to be compliant with semantic versioning.
Yeah, it's better if you quote the policy, like the basically quote, not based on what like perspective. So that'll be a help. Let me resend the email to the MicroProfile working group. So it's
Yeah,
as
Emily,
Emily, I just want to say, like, you don't allow me to take my phone out of my pocket because I'm walking in the dog right now. Actually, I didn't receive the notification too, so something probably was messed up, but I was able to find it, like, myself.
Okay, so maybe yeah, Google group is, let me resend again. It did end up in the Google group. Yeah, so when do we think we want to start voting?
Yeah, maybe we might need a technical discussion on that if we conclude. When we conclude in the discussion and the discussion comes down, then we are ready for a vote, I think.
That would be need another week, and then another week. I think with that, probably the release probably will have to be delayed for at least a month.
Yeah, but
Well, I mean, I think the decision here is fairly simple. If there is no decision on how we want to change versioning, we just keep things how we've been doing this from the start, right? So no change on the versioning scheme. We just go as we have done it so far, and then you can keep discussing, and then we can change the versioning for the next major release, and that's it.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. That was
Yeah,
that's
I was
exactly what I was
gonna
going to say.
Exactly, Roberto, you nailed it.
So it's not as simple because I'm not speaking for my team. So like some spec may not want to do a release. So Martin,
And that's
Emily, but we, for health at least, we don't actually want to introduce any new features. We are really just required to do the release for the CVEs and upgrade MP parent and Jakarta 10. So if we are not required to do the release, MP health is okay with it.
Not required. So you are saying if you are not forced to do a release, you are not going to do a release, right? Is that right? What you are saying?
Basically, yes, because like you came to me that you wanted me to update to MP parent 3.x and similar things. Mostly the CVs that Jan was mentioning, etc.
Maybe we should do more kind of conversation. Is that all the spec have to do a release? Yeah. So this is one thing. So these are multiple things. So if that kind of basically that can be done sooner, and the other thing is about versioning.
Well, I mean, historically, what we have done in the past is that each specification has its own free will to put whatever version they want. If that's right or wrong, that's a completely different subject. Now, if you want to discuss how to do it properly, yes, we can do that, and we can delay everything, and that's fine. Now, since people don't want to delay stuff, just let specs do whatever they want as they have done it until now, and then you can discuss this, and then we can figure that out later. Unless you want to delay this any further.
Yeah, I prefer not to delay. So if we could get an MP7 out.
So please, I mean, just I don't want to drag this discussion for too long about this, but I mean, I know that Jan has been like complaining about this for a long time, but quite frankly, I never seen any other user complain about this before. Right, so this has not been a problem until now. That's been a problem.
I had a long discussion on the weekend with a boss of a consultant company, and he does not understand why we do it not the way following semantic versioning all the aspects. So this is a user request and not only my own. And I can ask him to join the conversation if you like.
But does it having a technical problem with that?
Yes.
Is there anything not able to do? Well, I mean, then please he can just go and submit an issue, because until now there is zero issues in our pool on our GitHub about this particular subject.
Yeah, I agree. Let's talk about something concrete.
So I mean, we're basically trying to fix an issue that we never had before, at least an unknown issue, because I mean, we have been discussing this over and over and over again, but I haven't heard an actual user that used the thing complain about a specific use case. And to tell you something else, I mean, as you know, I mean, I ship MicroProfile with Quarkus, and I mean, this is not something that the user should have to worry about, because most application servers, they'll just ship a version, they'll say, this is MicroProfile that's included with you, and then the server itself is the one that has to figure out which version should put in the runtime, and the user doesn't have to be worried about it. Right now, I'm sympathetic that there may be users, they want to build their own thing and they may have issues, but I mean that this will be like a very small majority of everyone else that's using MicroProfile. Now,
No,
I mean,
no,
there-
that consultant company especially uses Quarkus, and also I had myself in my current project an issue where that semantic versioning was not done in the correct way and create an issue. And hopefully the next version will patch it away. But these are real things that happen.
Yeah,
So
let me,
I mean, if
hold
they're
on,
using Quarkus,
guys, hold on a second. We can go for hours in here. So Jan, is it possible for you to enable the user to use MicroProfile tools to speak up so that you do not speak for the user? And is it possible that we move forward on a different topic? Because this can go really badly in the way that we're wasting and repeating the same things. I believe that we can be better. How many implementers will achieve MP7? How many APIs or specifications wish to add features in this release? Features, right? So let's get a Google pool, or let's use SurveyMonkey that we pay for, and ask the committers what they want. Do you want to add features? If they want to add features, we do major. If they do not want to add features and just move to Jakarta EE10 or whatever it is that we want to do, we do it. I think we're just going into one user and then we're wasting the time. Can we just back off and just move to a next topic?
so let me just add one last thing. So Jan, I'm, as you may know or maybe you don't, I'm the main lead of MicroProfile stuff for Quarkus. I never heard any other company like that using Quarkus. I mean, and that's fine. There's a lot of companies that use Quarkus that I not know about, and they never created an issue in Quarkus around that. So I'm quite surprised that they talked to someone outside the Quarkus team for an issue that they have on a runtime, instead of talking with the actual team that supports that runtime. So please, Jan, I'm more than happy to meet up with them and hear their concerns, and personally, I'm the right person to fix their problems. So if I'm more than open, you can introduce them to me, and I'm more than happy to listen to their problems and to fix them.
That sounds good.
Yeah, by the way, I also posted the email I sent to the chat that's showed up in the mailing MicroProfile working group. Yeah, we can move on now, John.
If I can just quickly react to what Amelia was proposing. Basically, if any spec wants to actually introduce new features, they will propose a new release. So if we would like to do something new in health, we would release new version of health.
See that again? You'd
That if we would like to introduce new features in health, then I would release a new version in health that
okay.
we can do anytime, basically.
Oh, okay.
Correct.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I
Dean.
agree. I agree.
And also, let me add one last thing here. Sorry, Emily. It is for the users. If you're smart and you're using the technology, going to the providers that are supporting MicroProfile and buy support from them, the creators, the implementers, so that you support that company. And instead of mixing and matching your requests with an empty voice, put the money where your voice and your needs are required. We, as implementers, are providing the technology, creating the technology, and maintaining. And the user, it is their job to use the open source in a smart and responsible manner. we need to be very careful. Roberto said he will do this help and help the user, and that is great, but it's not his job to do this, right? Like that is just such a nice like spirit. It is not as often, right? We need to appreciate and we need to teach the users to go and speak for themselves. So Jan, you're so awesome to bring the issues here, but enable that user to speak for him or herself so that we can hear it as well.
Yeah, but my job is representing users organization to get that feedback and bring this. So it's my job to speak for others. But of course, I will try to link the people directly, and then let's see what's happened.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Jan.
Yeah, so John, please move on. So that's it.
You're in silence, John. Look at you, rocking it and quietly.
I mean, I was making the greatest points. You guys just don't know what you missed. So, I'm trying to figure out what the outcome of this conversation is here.
There is no outcome.
Well, we need to have an outcome. I know that you know, we'd like direct feedback from the user. You know, are we going to move forward as is with the way we've been versioning things?
Yeah,
So
I
we can get the
propose-
7.0 release out.
Yeah, I propose we just keep our current fashion. If like a customer raise any concrete problems, we will look into it. And so
Yeah.
far for telemetry open API, that's definitely a major release. But also we are not forcing any spec have to do a release either. So
Right.
this, if they don't
So what
want,
does that mean in terms of this column I've got highlighted?
so here and basically we can give based on what Roberto said, if a spec want to do release, they can just doesn't matter which version they want to do. So basically it's a major or minor. So it's the basically they need to create a plan review. I will send the email to the Google group. So also come to the different calls and remind people to create a plan review. Like probably it's the kind of metrics, health, or even config may not do any release.
Right, so
for tolerance, yeah, probably will be a minor release, and telemetry or open API will be major release.
right, so okay, so sorry, so for config, right? You're actively involved in config. What's your thoughts there?
So for this one, like I'm not sure whether we want. I think Roberto, we need to meet up to discuss whether we need to do a release or not. Roberto?
Yeah, I'm here. I mean,
Okay.
I don't see a reason why we should need a release on config. I think I already mentioned that in one of the last calls on the MicroProfile config call. Unless there's something that you're looking really forward to having config.
Okay,
So-
I'll let you guys kind of work on that conversation offline.
Yeah, I also
Um,
am attempting not to do a release for now, unless there's a kind of, when we do, there's a burning, kind of there's a blocker, we have to do it. So for now, it's a mark config health and the metrics, no release. And also there's a minor release for REST client JWT and for tolerance.
I'm sorry, you were saying that too fast here. No for metrics.
Yeah, that's the top three in the no, and then the middle three will be minor.
Sorry. Try it again. There we go.
And then the bottom two will be a major.
Whoops, don't capitalize because I'm sorry. Major. There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that. There's a lot of question marks that were making me nervous being this close. Okay. So I'm gonna move on here a little bit. So one of the things I did do is per previous discussions, I created an entry for each item that was in the program plan. Sorry, a GitHub issue for each item in the program plan, and we can not cover these here, but have discussion threads in terms of uh, um, how well we're executing against these various items, right? So we can do that offline. I expect most of these to be covered in the technical call, and maybe do status in this call. So I guess from a technical call perspective, is there any status update?
No, we have not looked into this
Okay.
yet.
And that's
Yeah.
okay, right? That's
We will try
it's-
to like evaluate in the technical call. Yeah.
okay.
Is it possible to assign maybe a few MicroProfiles to these tickets? Do we feel comfortable with that?
Well, I'd like the idea. I'd like to do it during the technical call for this one, just kind of like we
Totally
did
fine.
during the marketing.
Yeah,
during
totally
the
fine.
marketing call. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, community outreach. I don't know if Emerson's not on this call. I assigned Emerson this one without talking to him, so I need to talk to him. But I figures,
He'll
some
be
of us are
happy.
pretty. What was that?
He would be happy, and you can add me. You can add me as well. Definitely Emerson as a committer rep, and that should be obligatory.
Okay.
But definitely I'm always talking with the community and things like that. So I'm happy to peer with him.
So, this one, since there's no other venue to have these discussions, we should probably do status updates in this call. There's only a couple of these where we need to do updates during this call versus other calls. So I guess, is there anything that we kind of want to discuss or tackle, or maybe assign individuals would be a first good step, kind of like you mentioned before, Amelia. Does anyone want to lead any of these listed issues?
Service, the 224 Emerson. He has the access. He will have the access for that Edwin has for MicroProfile, SurveyMonkey. And as a committee rep, he gets to get the feedback from the committee.
Don't assign myself.
I know. So that would be Emerson.
Okay. Go back. Anybody else?
So I'm not entirely sure, John, but because I think I missed the meeting yesterday or not, but I feel like I'm a little bit lost on the marketing stuff.
Well,
But
yeah, this is so.
yeah.
So these aren't marketing ones. These are the community outreach items.
Okay, so never mind.
Yeah. Okay. For these, I don't see.
At Ryan in 221 because it's a design, the badge. And usually Ryan, we have him in the side of Tommy Tribe for anything social, and you just file a ticket and we know it. So he will not be the one filing the tickets, but he can create the badges for new members, new committers, new everything. We should be more active on that one. So Ryan on that one.
Well, Ryan would probably create the badge, but in
Yes.
terms of as a program or project, I don't see him necessarily leading that. Like
No,
what's
he
the
won't.
criteria, et cetera, right? That would probably be somebody else.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
So, I'm gonna leave I'm gonna leave these open. These other ones open for now. I don't. Well, who who is the one that basically wanted who created the concept of a first-time participation badge?
That was David's. So maybe you can put it on me because we are always saying recognize the community and the doers. So yeah. But
And
I don't.
I do see us probably having this conversation maybe in the marketing call, but
Mhm.
we'll just see if we have cycles to do it.
Yeah,
Oops, sorry, I put down David. I meant to put down.
that is fine. But I can do it.
Need to unselect him there. Okay. All right. Refresh. So unless there's any other updates for who wants to lead any of these issues, I'm gonna move on. We have about 14 minutes left. Okay, let's go back here. Anything with regards to Dev Nexus that we want to talk about? I know Emerson's leading this and he's not here, so I'm gonna probably move on for this one. Anything with regards to the budget?
No.
Okay. Marketing. So this is where I kind of wanted to cover the tutorial. I kind of started it a little bit too soon. But I've been providing some feedback. So let me go to the MicroProfile tutorial here real quick. So it's as simple as you know, just read it and provide GitHub issues in comment on each one, right? So like I have some questions for Tarun on exactly what the coding experience is going to be, right, for the tutorial, because what he's done for Jakarta is we have, you know, there isn't a reference implementation, but we do kind of have a single implementation that would apply here, and that would be Glassfish for Jakarta. Sorry, not here, but right, we don't have such a thing for MicroProfile. So how is he going to provide instructions for doing certain things? And that's an open-ended question I've added here, right?
I think
So-
John mentioned yesterday that he will use Open Liberty.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
mentioned yesterday just because he mentioned that because of MP5 will receive with implementations, but MP6 has very few. He's planning on using IBM's implementation.
Well,
Yesterday,
everyone's got to be okay with that, because in the past we've been a little bit sensitive to kind of focusing
Correct.
on any particular implementation.
and that is
So
what
if
I
there's
mentioned
other,
yesterday. Mhm.
yeah, if there's other planned implementations, you know, I know that for the compatible implementation, it would be Open Liberty, but it's kind of one of those things where it's like, because he's going to be like writing this stuff out, so it's like for speak now or forever hold your peace kind of a
Yeah.
thing. Unless, well, here's the thing. We're probably going to be doing updates to this, right?
Yes.
So maybe when there's more implementations during the updates, we could maybe either add or use a different implementation. That's going to require more work and probably more cost. But this historically we've tried to be very neutral, and in this case, it's probably a little bit difficult. So, is everyone okay with Tarun using Open Liberty as an implementation, and then maybe giving him a little bit of instruction to say in the future we may use a different implementation. So, or add instructions for a second implementation. So, Reza, you had your hand up first.
Yeah, so my opinion on this, John, is for now to move forward with the Open Liberty, obviously, because there's no other updated MicroProfile implementations anyway. But I think it's very easy for him to do two things. Number one, you know, where the text is, he could say something like, you know, use any implementation. You know, in this example, we're going to be using Open Liberty, right? And that keeps it, although it is specific to a Open Liberty, it leaves that door open that there may be more implementations. The other thing that he should probably do is wherever his code is, he could instead of just putting if there is something specific to Open Liberty, which presumably will be in the Maven POM, he could just put that instead of putting it in the main section, he could just create a profile specific to Open Liberty, so such that in the future we could add more profiles and add more runtimes that
There
way.
you go. I like that. Okay.
So those are two things he can very easily do at this point.
Reza, create a ticket, please, because yesterday we brought this up. And then when he was showing, I went into the implementations and I said, we have a problem. We're writing a tutorial and we don't have neutrality with the implementations because we have not, many of us have not acquired the technology of MP6. So it's not going to be neutral. And that is a serious topic. We are very sensitive of it. And John, you were nice to state it. I don't think we need a steering vote on this, but
No.
we need to provide the feedback and enable ourselves to update the tutorial. I don't think, because we will own, MicroProfile will own the documentation and the tutorials, we can update it ourselves. It doesn't mean implementers, but it should be something nice like Reza mentioned that can be applied.
So, yeah, I think
Yeah,
what I'll do is I'll add a comment here, and Jan, I'll give you a second here. You know, I could reply. I'll just reply to this comment saying, you know, we did discuss this and we brought up the idea of using profiles, right, and get his feedback on that. Jan?
Yeah, I'm fine with having one implementation. He showed yesterday on the call a list of potential implementations as an alternative. That could be a good starting point. And I think we should treat this like we do it with compatible implementations in component specs and the platform spec. Every vendor is free to add a page where his implementation can be used to set these examples or tutorial examples up. So we need at least one running implementation that fits to the spec version. But with a joint effort, we easily could extend that, and that should be helpful for the users to have different options.
Okay.
And then hopefully this is in MicroProfile 7. So basically when the more compatible implementation pop up, basically we should keep this up to date. And then like the different vendors can add their implementation in. So this would be awesome.
Yeah, I just want to mention that for some implementation like Whitefly, it is possible to create, you know, like a standalone application. It's just not the default way how to do it. So if you have a different deployment model profile, Maven profile might not be enough.
Fair point.
Seems to me that we should be listing these ones for Tarun to help him. He has done a lot of research over the MicroProfile holidays. And we can provide some feedback and loop onto what he's doing in here. It is, after all, our job to enable him awareness. Not only does he has to say, at the time of this tutorial, written tutorial, this implementation was used because it was the only one available. And then we can go on and he can, you know, provide more feedback for the users.
The other thing, we need to be careful not to be burden.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say that personally because
Yeah.
it doesn't look good for the spec. You know, I think something vague like, okay, this is the one we're using, but you know, you can use something else is probably
Yeah.
something.
So in this case, I will just say, okay, he just get things working on Open Liberty and get all the content working, and then we go to maintain it, right? So we kind of jointly, because all the runtime, most of the runtime have expertise here. You know how kind of work better basically with the water supply and et cetera, et cetera. I think it's much better than him have to learn all sorts of different things.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and close down this part of the conversation. There is one other thing that we have here, and that is growing marketing participation. It's one of the goals in the program plan. So I guess are there any organizations on the call that do not have someone currently attending the marketing calls? And I don't actually see anyone. So I might be speaking speaking to the crowd. What's the word? Sorry, there's a phrase I can't think of off the top of my head.
Preaching to the choir.
All right. Thank you. Preaching to the choir. Yes, I'm preaching to the choir here. So yeah. So I'm gonna punt on this one, and I may begin reaching out.
Oops.
So, oh, we lost John.
Yeah,
But
we
anyway,
lost.
Paul is here, right? So we discussed in the marketing call yesterday regarding the budget, basically for the conference fees, conference support. Ian brought up the OCX conference. So it's we kind of have a discussion. So for that budget, for the conference and etc., the budget is that 1,200? I can't remember now exactly. So Paul, can we basically instruct and say, okay, we kind of anyway, this is just a question. Is we say, okay, can we invest that 12 is 1,200 to OCX?
I believe the answer is yes. I put that recommendation to Clark Roundy.
Or Clark. So in this case, Amelia, maybe we should basically track this, yeah, with marketing GitHub.
So I left the call the last 10 minutes. We're talking about 1,200 for a conference.
We had a fixed budget that was part of the discussion end of last year for the steering committee that was lowered. I don't remember the exact number.
Yeah, that was for Eclipse Foundation's travel to events, 2,500.
Yeah, maybe then that's that, because the OCX, who does not know that, that's the open code experience, is the follow-up of the EclipseCon conference. So they changed the name and the location and yeah, reorganized that. But yeah, it's basically the successor of the EclipseCon.
And yeah, okay, so we have, it was, our location was 2,500 for Eclipse Foundation travel budget, but I am not.
Well, the events support row is 2,500.
Yes, but Paul, I am not sure if the groups get to decide what events we wish to participate on, because Tommy Tri voted -1 on that one for many different reasons. And one of the problems that we have is, do we get a say? Is this worth discussing? I have no idea what was decided on the power of the working group.
Yeah, I think the original question was, how do we apply it to OCX? And the answer I gave was follow up with Clark Roundy. You're asking a different question, which somehow seems to be at odds with what the original question was I was asked.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm more interested in the original question. I don't think we should just rediscuss the budget voting.
No, it's fine.
So sorry, Amelia, let me quickly summarize this. So I looked at the budget for its event support is 2,500. So it's basically, yeah. Sorry, I made a mistake. So we will follow up with Clark to see yeah. For the sponsorship, for the conference sponsorship. Thank you. I think that's the answer to my question.
And I apologize. I just got kicked out of Zoom for some reason, or I dropped, so I came back in, and I think at this point we're at the top of the hour anyway.
Yeah.
So next week during the technical call, again, MicroProfile tutorial, status update, anything else you want to that you guys want to cover. Maybe look at the program plan goals. See everyone there, and hopefully in 2 weeks, see you same bat time, same bat channel right here.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Right, thanks
Bye.
everyone.
Happy
Happy birthday,
Thank you,
John.
guys.
Have a
Thank
good week,
you.
folks.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye.